Ready? Ms. Robinson. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Winterville Town Council meeting. Tonight is Monday, September the 8th, 2025. The time is 6:01. Invocation tonight will be given by Mr. Luther Hemby, and following that, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by Miss Macy, I'm sorry. Correct. All right.
Let us all pray. Eternal God, source of wisdom and peace, we thank you for the opportunity to gather in service to the people of Winterville, North Carolina. As this council meet tonight, grant each council member and the mayor and the town clarity of thought, fairness in judgment, and compassion in decision-making. Bless our community with unity, safety, and prosperity. May the work done here reflect justice, integrity, and respect for all who call Winterville home. Guide this meeting so that every decision, every discussion contributes to the common good and help build a stronger future for our city. With gratitude and hope, we lift up your name at this time. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Okay, Miss Macy, if you would step to the podium.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Miss Macy, could you go back to the mic and tell us what grade you in and introduce your parents, please?
I'm in fourth. What? Introduce my
Yeah.
I'm in fourth grade, and that's my mom. That's my mom, Katie Cobb, and my father, Tommy Cobb.
How about the little one back there? Who is he?
My little brother, Adam.
All right. Thank you. And she's a student at W.H. Robinson. All right. Again, we would like to welcome everyone here tonight to our September meeting. We're going to get right on into it because we got a closed session tonight we want to get on to. So next up is going to be the roll call. Get your clickers. All is present. Thank you. Next up will be the approval of the agenda. And I'll turn it over to the town manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. You do have an amended agenda at your seats. If you'll denote on page 2, there is an additional other agenda item. It has red font and will be numbered as number 5.
Move for approval of the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Robinson, second by Councilwoman Smith. Any discussion? If no discussion, please get your clicker. Motion carried. Next up is our proclamation, and the National Recovery Month will be read by Councilwoman Dr. Brandy Harrell.
Good evening, everyone. The official theme for the National Recovery Month for 2025 is Recovery is Real, Restoring Every Aspect of Life. This theme highlights that recovery is built on 4 key dimensions of life: health, home, community, and purpose. And it emphasizes the importance of a holistic approach to achieving lasting well-being from mental health and substance use challenges. The proclamation. National Recovery Month, September 2025. Whereas National Recovery Month is observed each September to raise awareness of mental health and substance use recovery and to celebrate the strength and resilience of individuals who are reclaiming their lives. And whereas millions of Americans are living in recovery and their stories of hope and healing inspire communities to support evidence-based treatment, reduce stigma, and promote wellness. Whereas the town of Winterville recognizes that recovery is a journey that benefits individuals, families, and the entire community, and that access to support services is essential for long-term success. Whereas local organizations, healthcare providers, peer support specialists, and community leaders in Winterville are committed to fostering a culture of compassion, inclusion, and empowerment for those affected by addiction and mental health challenges. Now, therefore, Mayor Richard E. Hines of the town of Winterville do hereby proclaim September 2025 as National Recovery Month in Winterville and encourage all residents to support recovery efforts, honor those in recovery, and stand in solidarity with families and professionals working to make recovery possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rell. Next up is proclamation for National Hispanic Heritage Month. Mr. Harvey.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas each year from the 15th of September to the 15th of October, National Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated throughout the United States. And whereas Hispanics comprise roughly 11.4% of the population of the state of North Carolina as of 2023, and have both an integral and necessary community in our state. And whereas Hispanics comprise 8% of the population of Pitt County as of 2023, and whereas the town of Winterville openly welcomes and supports its distinct cultural diversity, and whereas we are further inspired by the economic, social, and cultural contribution of the Hispanic community within the town of Winterville and Pitt County, and whereas we understand that although this national recognition lasts each year for 1 month, we work endlessly to create a more socially inclusive and diverse society with equality for all populations. And now therefore, I, Richard E. Hines, Mayor of the town of Winterville, do hereby proclaim September 15th, 2025 through October 15th, 2025, extend best wishes to all of our communities as they hold appropriate ceremonies to commemorate this observation. In witness whereof, I do set my hand and cause the seal of Winterville to be affixed this 8th day of September, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes.
So as an American of Hispanic descent, I'd like to say I firsthand understand the cultural diversity and the beauty of the Hispanic culture, as many cultures have, and I am grateful and blessed to be from a Mexican-American family, hardworking, God-fearing American citizens, and I appreciate the recognition.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Next up is some presentations. Presentation by the Winterville Human Relations Board, back to school support to Miss Roundtree, principal at W.H. Robinson Elementary, and I'm going to turn it over to Councilwoman Hawkins.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. Is anyone from the Human Relations Board present, other than myself? Up here. Come on up here, board. So, we find it an honor.
Councilwoman Hawkins, I'm sorry. Could you, please.
Good evening, Principal Roundtree. The Winterville Human Relations Board finds it an honor to have selected W.H. Robinson as our school for support. We wanted to provide a school within Winterville some school supplies. We know that most students have what they need the first week, but we're thinking proactively, and we know that there is a need also in some homes at the beginning of the year. So we thought, what better school than our community school of W.H. Robinson? I'm proud to have had 3 of my children go through W.H. Robinson, and you are leading a school of a great legacy. So we wanted to present you with tons and tons of back-to-school items. Now, the town will deliver them to you, but we wanted to tell you thank you for your service, your leadership in our community. How the first few weeks have gone and whatever else you would like to do. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Well, first, I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to come out tonight and to speak to you all as a community. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have worked with Dr. Harrell for the Back to School. We Love Our Schools campaign through Pitt County Schools. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for having that beautiful video put together from the videographer. It was amazing. It represents W.H. Robinson so well, and it captured the heart of who we really are at W.H. Robinson. And I'd like to tell everyone that comes out to Robinson that we pride ourselves on 2 things, and that is family and academics. So when your children attend W.H. Robinson, that is what we put forward. We have a great legacy of quality educators who have long-time tenures at W.H. Robinson, so we're very proud of that. And I want to say thank you for donating these school supplies. As you said previously, lots of families do have items initially, but as the school year progresses, we do see a decline in certain students having materials. So we are very fortunate and very thankful that we will have these supplies on hand for our students. And I want to give a special shout out to our student, Ms. Mason Cobb, for helping us out tonight with reading the pledge. And I also would like to thank Mayor Hines for all of his continued support. I'd like to thank Winterville PD for their continued support as we open our school. Most recently, they have been a great help to us in making sure that traffic and the students are safe getting in and out of school for drop-off and dismissal. I truly appreciate the community support for W.H. Robinson. I have been blessed to serve at our school, and I hope to continue to do so, and I hope to continue to have this great partnership with the town of Winterville. Thank you all so much, and these supplies will be given to those students, available to those students. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just also wanted to say that some of the supplies are for your teachers.
Okay.
There's lots of supplies that teachers need to be able to provide instruction. So we have some goodies in there for them as well.
All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Oh, what would they do? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And thank you to the Human Relation Board for doing that. And also to, while we segue in, before we segue on, just to reiterate what Ms. Roundtree said, Councilwoman Dr. Harrell was at W.H. Robinson back to school. Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Moy was at A.G. Cox, and Councilwoman Robinson was at A.G. Cox. And myself, I was at Creekside along with Mr. Hemby. And so we welcome the students back for the first day. I think that's something that we'll be doing continuously each year. Ms. Smith and Ms. Hawkins are actually in the school system, so they was welcoming back kids as well at their prospective schools. So, you know, like I said, it takes a village, and we want to make sure that we're doing all we can. Next up is our public comment.
Yeah, in the hallway. In the hallway.
Okay. The public comment policy. The public comment period of 30 minutes provide an opportunity for residents to comment on any item included in the agenda or to address the town council on any other matter related to the town of Winterville or an item included in the public hearing section of the agenda. Residents should address the council at the time the mayor invites public comments on the items. No public comment may be made to the council during the meeting, except during the public comment period or as part of a public hearing. Individual speakers are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes, and no more than 3 speakers may address the council on a single matter. The town council may elect to take no action on the matter addressed by a speaker, may schedule a matter for further consideration at a further council meeting, or may refer the matter to the town staff for disposition. Copies of the town public comment policies are available in the rear of the assembly room. First up, we have Ms. Matt DeJesus.
I'm not gonna take time to say all of you, all, you know, how you doing and all that, cause, Mayor Hines gonna be doing things to here. Time up. So I'm gonna just skip that part. I'm reporting on Mill and Boyd's intersection. We had the Watermelon Festival, and there was an accident out there. That's understandable because these people from out of town. We drew a lot of people from out of town, so one car stopped, another car hit it in the rear. My second thing is that after that accident, the street light that's in my yard, that pole, it lights up that whole intersection. And I looked out, it was dark, pitch black for 3 days. I was waiting for someone else to call and report it. But I guess they feel sensible in my yard that it was my responsibility, so I called, emailed Don. And you know, Don had those people out there that next day, I heard noise in my yard and I saw that big pretty white truck out there. It was shining. And I said, now that thing looked new. It had to be new because there was no dust on the wheels. So I think we got a brand new truck. Do we, Don? Was that new? Who? Is it?
No, ma'am.
It's not. Well, you all clean that thing up nice. And they went up and put that, a brand new street light out there. And when it was dark, I look out there, them cars was zooming, just going through there, because nobody could see them going through the stop sign. But when that light came on, those cars very respectable, they stopped. And I just want to say, Don, I didn't get those guys' name, but could you call their names out? Those guys are very oh, that's right, I talked to the wrong person. Okay.
The guys that were out there were probably, Randall Rouse, Brandon Eckert, Alan Jones, and the guy Nicholas Holt.
They were very respected. They did not park on my flowers. They didn't even step on them. They just stepped around. And I want to say Winterville is on the ball. I'm so glad I live here. And anything that I want to say, I don't know about anything, but recently, when I've been make a complaint, you all been doing something. It's almost, look at Ricky. I mean, Mayor Hines, it's almost time. Okay, all right. But just thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Jesus. Next up, we have Mr. Marlo Bynum.
Good evening.
Mr. Bynum, can you state your address for the
Yes,
record,
my
please?
address is 113 West Firetown Road, Suite Q.
Thank you.
And good evening. I'm here tonight to speak on the truth on the record about false testimony, failed leadership, and the harm done to the black business owner in this town. In the case 24 DOG 02227, Bonham versus the NCABC on the transcript 131-133. Chief Williams testified under oath and said, but later I found out that they had a North Carolina kindergarten, pre-kindergarten license. What he's stating to is the East Carolina Kitty College, located at 4024 B. Old Tar Road, Winterville. This is not a school. It is a licensed daycare center and has been that way by the North Carolina Department of the Health and Human Service. The license number is 74000 862. This place has been in development with a 5-star rating for the whole 12 years of their existence. This misrepresentation is not a small matter. Under the North Carolina General Statute 14-209, it is a criminal offense knowingly and willfully making a false statement under oath. Chief William has every opportunity to verify information through the state database, yet chose to present falsehood of information he swore in on the testimony. As an officer of the law, he is held to high standard, even though he said he's not. Failure to undermine public confidence, what he has done. In question, I carry out to understand, is he really responsible with the duties that he has? This is not just my words, these are violations of the law that he serves. But the failure for him to do these things, Chief Stills continue to not admit that he told a false statement under oath. The mayor of this town, I look at the mayor and I brought this situation to the mayor. The mayor, under oath, in a conversation told me he would provide a reference letter to me that would help my business thrive. That letter never came. Instead, he turned his back and went quiet on me. So to the city council that's watching that stood silent and knew everything about Corbellas, and it went unchecked, never investigated. The business that I ran in this city for 10 years, my reputation of 10 years never had a violation of anything in this town, has now been looked at as I'm the problem. What Chief said, it will be a burden to this town and to the community if I receive my license. The silence of leadership is failing Black business in Winterville. Black citizens at this point would love to have a day where we understand who are we to this town. Well, we pay taxes here, we bring revenue here, we bring business here, but I realize no one speaks about the Black business here.
Thank you, sir.
I have a comment.
Yeah, I do too.
First, my comment is, it is imperative that we recognize small Black businesses. They are integral to the community in which we live, especially a community that has a theme of a slice of a good life. If this was the situation, then that was not giving someone the slice of a good life. The young lady from W.H. Robinson just led the Pledge of Allegiance. She said, "One nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty." She said, "Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." This should attain to everyone, to businesses, to homeowners, to your average person. And I believe that the business that Mr. Marlo Bynum is speaking of, excuse me, because I know I'm being watched by many. So the business that Mr. Marlo Bynum is speaking of has been under scrutiny, and he has not received any citations. I would say that I am advocating for balance in regulations for him and for everyone else. That is just what I needed to say to follow up. To follow up with Ms. Matt DeJesus, I thank you for your compliments to the responsiveness when you call. This has been something that has been steady, and we are appreciative that you are getting the service that you need. The governing board of Winterville is here to serve the people and not themselves. Thank you.
Good evening again. I'd like to also add that there have been times that Mr. Bynum and people that advocated for his business have come to the podium, and as I said months ago, in this town, we do not pick winners and losers when it comes to business. I have stood firmly with all businesses, especially Corbella's business as well, and the Black Alumni ECU group. When concerns were raised, I called all the way to the state ABC board. We want to talk about second chances and things of that nature. When a person has a record, that's not a life sentence. When people make mistakes, we should embrace them for the contributions that they are making. Businesses are the heartbeat of our community. They create jobs and build pride. So I want to say that advocacy sometimes is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And as a councilwoman, I will continue to lean into my responsibility to advocate. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to speak, and I'm going to move on from this, but I was never on the oath to talk about the Cabela's Event Center. And as far as speaking about Chief Williams, anybody that wants to look at the transcript, there's 250 pages of it, and I think you can decipher what Chief Williams said. And I'm going to leave it at that. And
I would like to make a comment, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Our community welcomes African-American businesses, other businesses by other minorities or other groups. We welcome them. I was at your opening. I was very excited to see you come to the community. I was excited to see what the services that you were offering. And when the situation came down, I was the one that signed the paper. So we support you. We support Black business. We do support them. We're glad to see them. We have our chamber. She goes over and beyond trying to get things done. So we do, it's not a community that does not welcome African-American businesses. We, I haven't had an instance where I felt that they were not being served. So that's my,
I know we're not in a,
these things happen. I regret those things that happen.
I know we're not in a debate. I know we don't have a motion, but I was speaking to specifically Corbella's, a venue, family venue. And when I spoke about small businesses, namely Black businesses who were not part of the scavenger hunt, I have a list of those businesses. I am not saying that Winterville is intentionally leaving Black businesses out. I'm saying that it is incumbent upon Winterville to ensure that all businesses, and specifically Black businesses, feel welcome and supported because they pay the same tax revenue as everyone else. And in terms of Corbella's, while we all feel supportive, I don't know what occurred, what the intricacies are, but the building has been torn down from a flourishing building to celebratory conversations about it from officials, and it's inexcusable. And I'm here to serve the public. That includes a business that was here and a business person who is still here. We need to uphold higher standards at all times because we never know who knows who. Thank you.
Johnny, you want to say anything, or Councilwoman Smith, do y'all want to say anything? If not, we're going to move on. Okay. Do you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to say that during this period in time that we was going through this, everything was new to me. I wasn't aware of it. Going to be upfront with you. And a decision was made, and it was given. It wasn't left on our table, our decision. It wasn't this board decision. The understanding I got that it came from the decision from Raleigh, from the board. Is I'm wrong or right about that, Terry?
You're correct.
That's correct.
That's the information I got, and that's the reason why you didn't hear me speak anything about that, because when you're dealing with the law of the land is the law of the land. You know, you go out there and you know the speed limit is 60 or 55, and you run 80, you're going to get a ticket. I don't care you black, white, blue, green, whoever you are, you're gonna get a ticket. You're not in compliance. So I'm just saying a decision was made in Raleigh. And that's all I know. That's the reason why I haven't made any comments on it, because the information I'm receiving is what I received was, it was a decision that was made.
Mayor,
Okay.
I just wanted to speak to the demolition of the building. We've had many people reach out to the town, curious as to why the building is being demolished. I just wanted to speak to the fact that that building specifically, the demolition was initiated, planned, and is being carried out by the North Carolina Department of Transportation. I think the only interaction would be, Evan, correct me if I'm wrong, they had to get a demolition permit with the town in order to carry that out. But as the public who's watching, I just wanted to make sure that you all knew it wasn't a town of Winterville action.
That's it. We're not gonna.
I'm gonna go ahead.
No,
I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna go ahead. You carry. I am out of, the town is out of order at this time because you want to extend the conversation until it is to your satisfaction. The business was closed and stopped from receiving business 3 to 4 months prior to the demolition. This is not just based on demolition. It affected someone's business, and we had a closed session about it. The paperwork from the court was relative to the testimony, and now I'm finished.
Again, we don't need anything from out of the audience. If you're gonna comment from out of the audience, we're gonna ask you to leave. All right, okay? All right. You're not gonna disrupt this, so. Next up is the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
A second.
Have a motion on the floor, motion made by Councilwoman Smith, second by Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Moy. Any discussion for the vote? Use your clicker to vote, please. Motion carried. There's no old business, new business. School resource officer agreement, is that, you were chief?
I'll start off. Chief, let me know if you would like to do the presentation instead of me, doesn't matter.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. As you know, every year we renew our contract with Pitt County Schools. Contract of itself remains the same every year, except for the salaries of the officers due to COLAs that are adjusted and all that stuff. It provides a school resource officer for each of the 3 public schools we have: Creekside, W.H. Robinson, and A.G. Cox. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions on the school resource officer agreement?
I guess it's the time that I do this. I was at A.G. Cox, first day of school, and it was busy, very, very busy. The principal said that, I think, numbers may not be exactly right, because, I forget. I think he said he had about 880 students
Yes,
up there.
ma'am. That's right.
Is it possible there could be an additional
Yes, ma'am.
resource officer?
And I know you brought that up during the agenda review, and I have a meeting with John Jenkins this week, and I plan to address it with him. He's the SRO contract specialist for Pitt County Schools. He basically runs the SRO program for Pitt County Schools. And I'll be having a conversation with him later this week.
Thank you.
And I'll be happy to send you and Ms. Terry an email, you as in council and Ms. Terry an email with regards to his thoughts on that.
Do you need a motion to accept?
Yes, we need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the school resource officers agreement.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor, a motion made by Councilwoman Robinson, second by Councilwoman Smith to accept the school resource officer agreement. Any discussion? If none, please vote with your clicker.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our urgent repair list. Turn it over to the manager.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We have been talking about the town's urgent repair program for some time, and I wanted to just give a quick update about where we are. The town of Winterville has revamped and revived the urgent repair program. Mr. Don Harvey and I collected all of the applications that had been collected since COVID. So our program was suspended in 2020, and due to a variety of things, we have just recently this year revised it. We performed the verification process for the town. The town had 15 applications and 4 met the town's requirements. As a reminder, applicants must be 62 years of age or older. They must own and reside in their home, and the applicant must be current on both town and county taxes. We have 4 addresses that we have submitted to Rebuilding Together, and we're asking that the town council endorse those addresses. The maximum is $6,000 per property. I have a couple of program changes I'd like to ask council, but if we could handle those after just an endorsement of these addresses.
Okay. These is 4.
I'd like to move that the 4 addresses presented here be referred to Rebuilding Together.
A second.
I have a question.
Hold your question to, we got the motion on the.
Okay.
And then we can have a, oh, yeah. Motion made by Councilwoman Smith, second by Mayor Pro Tem Moy, to accept the 4 addresses. Now, discussion.
Okay, so my question is in terms of the urgent repair. I have a few questions. So you said they need to be, the requirements are 62 and older, own their own home, and you said something about taxes?
Own and live in their home.
Own and live in their home.
Be current on county, town and county taxes.
Town.
Now, these are the town's requirements.
Okay, that's why I was asking, because it's a variation of requirements in different towns.
Yes.
So this is the town's requirement. And then my next question is, I know you and I corresponded. In terms of applications moving forward, will there be some sort of a secondary way in which these can be, I guess, saved? For example, if you have a paper application and it's lost, what does a person do who's been waiting and now it's lost?
So from here on out, what I anticipate that we will be doing is every application we receive, we will digitize as well. So we will import that into the computer. We'll have a hard copy as well as a digital copy.
Thank you. My next question is, the requirements, were they just put in place or were they previous to the application process going dormant? Or is this new requirements?
They have been the requirements since the inception of the program, which was around 2014, I think.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any more discussion? If none, please use your clicker. Motion carry. Thank you.
So, Mayor, I've got a couple
Okay,
of
I'm
other
sorry.
things. So just as a point of clarification, we have applications where applicants may not have, they may have met 2 of the 3 criteria. They may not have been current on taxes. So we'll be reaching out, those that make arrangements to become current on their taxes, their application would be revised for the urgent repair program. I just wanted to give everybody an update on that. If there are applications that do not meet our requirements for reasons that cannot be changed for the town's requirements, we will forward all of those to Rebuilding Together. Just as a reminder, that's the organization that manages and carries out the work for the town's program, but they have their own program for Pitt County, so they have different requirements. What is the same throughout, that if you pass the town's requirements and your application is forwarded to Rebuilding Together, they have a set of requirements. Part of that is income verification. So if you do not meet their requirements, but you meet the town's requirements, you still cannot move forward in the program, because all of that's a must. We do not do the income verification. We have contracted for them to do that. So I have one item. We had an applicant that has a life estate on their property. That is not something that, when we put the program together, that we thought about including. But my suggestion would be that if there's a legal life estate or life rights to live in the home, and it can be found through documentation at the courthouse, I would suggest under those premises, and Keen, correct me if I need to add something to that, but that we do allow consideration for the town of those situations, assuming that they meet the other criteria.
Do you, you believe there's maybe something recorded at the Register of Deeds office indicating, so if the traditional document would be the creation of a life estate in the current person that's living there, with the remainder interest going to a family member. So we should be able to look at, that person has an interest now, but who would have it later?
Right.
And so identify the future interest owner.
On the federal side, that's what we use. We can go to the Register of Deeds office and find the booking page, and it spells out that they have the lifetime rights to that property. And then we are able to work with them to repair that property, because with the lifetime rights, even though you have family members as staying in your house, when we fix it, it don't mean that they come and throw them out, because they have a lifetime right. And the other part of it also too is, we look at the part of it, heir property. When you have a bunch of heirs, it's hard to do it because you have so many different heirs and you can't correlate them all together.
Just to be clear, I am not asking to include heir property in that addition, just due to the legal complications that come along with that. I am strictly asking to include life estates or life rights that we can verify officially and legally.
One of our requirements being that the owner, reside there.
Yes.
That person with a life estate is considered an owner.
Right.
So I would just get a copy of the deed, if you probably already have that, just to show who the remainder interest is too.
Don't we have a restriction as to, say you get your house fixed, when you can sell it or whatever, that it can't be sold within X amount of years or something like that?
We don't have I believe in most programs, that's called a recapture period.
Right.
I don't think we have delineated a recapture period in our program. It may be good to do that. I do believe that historically, CDBG and others is 8 years.
It's usually 8 to 10, depending on the amount of the loan.
And then it's prorated if they do.
Right.
It's prorated.
That's right.
Right.
So that may be something that we should put in our program as well, because it is stated in there that it's a no interest loan that does not need to be paid back, assuming that.
I mean, since we're opening up the requirements more,
yes,
I feel like maybe we need to do that.
I think it's a great idea.
That would prevent I remember, well, anyway,
Right.
I would
that
rec-
would be good to do
Dean, I
that.
would recommend 8 years, assuming you have no issue with that.
I think that's a good round number. Just, we typically see more 8 than 10 with CDBG, loans.
With the stipulation of prorated if they do?
Yeah.
You know,
Each, yeah,
Yeah.
1/8 comes off each year.
right,
Right.
right.
And, so we are going to, if the application was not accepted because the person was, say, on a payment plan, we're gonna go back and,
That's the second thing.
okay.
We did talk about payment plans. Ms. Robertson, Councilwoman Robertson, brought up what happens in a situation where somebody is on a payment plan for their taxes. Currently, they would not be included, but I wanted to throw that out there for council consideration.
I would like to see, if they're on a payment plan and it's current, to me, that is the same as your taxes are current. You know, you're paying your taxes in increments rather than the whole thing. So I'd like to see those people, included, if they meet, the other guidelines, of course. But I would like to see those people included in the, program.
So if I may recap, I think we've discussed adding life rights to consideration of an applicant, assuming that we can verify that legally. Including an 8-year recapture period that is prorated as the years go on for the 8-year period, and then to include people that are on payment plans for taxes and are current for consideration as well.
Do you want to one by one, or do you want to, how you want to?
I'm okay with all
I
together.
think it's pretty straightforward. Have one motion on all 3 of those.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on, Evan, did you get that? Okay.
On motion?
Oh, yes.
3 criteria.
3 criteria.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you,
The
Adam.
motion, what she said, I'm sorry, and then you can use it as a motion, but, approved use of life estate recapture period and tax payment plan in the urgent repair program criteria. So I entertain that motion.
Okay. I move, make a motion, that we now include life rights, 8-year recapture, and payment plans for taxes in our urgent repair program.
Okay. All right.
As criteria for our urgent repair program.
I second. Okay. Have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Robinson, second by Mayor Pro Tem Johnny Ward. Is any discussion? If done, please use your clicker.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next up is the Recreation Advisory Board appointment. Is that you gonna have that?
I am, Ms. White is not here this evening. She attended and will be helping her mom. They buried her father today, so please keep everybody in her family's prayers. He was interred at Arlington Cemetery, so with full military honors. So we have Recreation Advisory Board appointments. So we have 3 things to cover, and I think we can do it in 2 motions. We have 3 people that would like to be reappointed. That is John Fleming, Katrina Jones, and Rashana Carmen. Mr. John Relford has stepped down from the board, so we have an open position. We are recommending to move the alternate from the alternate's position to the vacant position. And then we have a set of applicants that we would ask for you to choose as the alternate. Evan, I don't know how you've got it set up too.
I didn't see.
Okay.
So the reappointment is gonna be first, okay? All right.
So I make a motion that we approve the 3 reappointments to the Recreation Advisory Board.
I second.
Have a motion on the floor to reappoint the 3 Recreation Board members. Motion made by Councilwoman Smith, second by Mayor Pro Tem Moore. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a discussion. These applications, where are they provided? What page? We don't see it.
121.
Was it in for this month or?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give us 2 seconds?
120, start at 120, I'm sorry.
Yes.
120, 121 is an application.
All of that is September?
The date is, it's prepared on 8/25, and it's in the thing here.
And the first application should be behind that abstract.
See it? You find it?
So currently, the motion and second is to reappoint John Fleming, Katrina James, and Rashana Carmen.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any more discussion? If not, vote with your clicker. Motion carried. Now is to
Move the alternate.
move the alternate, right?
Evan, what's the young lady's name? That's the alternate.
Mary?
Lindsay Price is our current alternate. The next vote would be to move her, which is standard practice, from the alternate position to the existing vacancy. Lindsay Price.
Lindsay Price.
So I make the motion that we appoint Lindsay Price to the vacant seat.
I second.
Have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Smith, second by Mayor Pro Tem Moore, to move Ms. Price to a board member, correct? Yes. All right, is any discussion? If none, please vote. Click.
I got the click.
Motion carried.
Great.
All right, now, we got to,
Yes, you have 5 applicants, which have submitted applications and can be considered for the alternate position. Chanel Flowers, Michael McFadden, William Richburg, Mary.
Is it you?
And Dee Parker. I apologize to Mary if I mispronounced her last name.
I take nominations, isn't that right, King?
Yes, sir, we can do nominations.
We have some nominations. Or, I gotta take a name, right? The floor is open for a nomination for. Y'all have a nomination?
If council would like to have additional time to review the applicants, we could certainly table this till the October meeting. I'm not suggesting that's what you want to do, but it's certainly an option.
I'll make a motion, I will nominate William Richford.
Second.
Well, right now, right now, a nomination. We have a nomination on the floor for William Richburg. Is there any more nominations? Is there any more nominations? If not, I close the nomination. What is the motion of the board?
I move that we appoint Richford, William Richford.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Have a motion by Councilwoman Smith, second by Mayor Pro Tem Ward to nominate William Richburg as our alternate, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Alternate. Any discussion? If none, please vote by using your clicker. Oh, I'm sorry.
We need just 1 second.
All right. And Ron, could you come to the podium next, please? Be headed to the podium.
Almost there.
Almost. Okay, if you could use your clicker to, oh, sorry. Hi.
There we
Okay,
go.
if you use your clicker to vote. Motion carried. Thank you all. All right. Next up, we have Mr. Ron Mills from the Electric Department, Electric Director.
Good evening, Mayor Ricky and Council. The first item I have is a request to purchase a new ditch witch RT 45 that's replacing our existing ditch witch. We've allocated monies in the 25-26 budget for this purchase. It's replacing a 20-year-old trencher that we currently are using. Well, it's currently broke down, so it's been broke down for about 3 months, and we didn't want to put the money in the old machine, so we decided to try to buy another one. It will, the quotes were given to us through Sourcewell, which is an independent co-op, kind of like a state contract, but they're on a federal level, and looking at recommendation from council to approve the purchase of the ditch witch trencher in an amount of $116,000.
Okay, thank you.
I move that we approve the purchase of the Ditch Witch RT 45B trencher.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Smith, second by Councilwoman Dr. Brandon Harrell. Any discussion? If none, please vote by using the clicker. Motion carried. Thank you. Next up, Ron.
The next item is a 15-year capital improvement plan. We recommend looking for council's approval to approve our grid to complete a 15-year capital improvement plan and assist with various other projects and to extend into our electric territory. We advertised a request for qualifications on 2 different occasions, on May 17th and 21st. There were 2 engineering firms, Booth and Our Grid, and we deemed Our Grid submittal as complete and meeting the town's request. And again, we're looking for staff approval of Our Grid Master Service Agreement to complete a 15-year capital improvement plan.
I move to approve the contract for the 15-year capital improvement plan with Our Grid.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Councilwoman Smith, second by Dr. Brandon Harrell. Any discussion to approve the electric engineering and 15-year capital improvement plan? If no discussion, please vote by using your clicker. All right, next up is Ron.
Yes, sir. This is my last item. I'm looking for council's approval for Michael Taylor to complete phase 2 of Old Tar Road widening project. Utility engineering was originally contracted to complete the construction and administration oversight for the utility relocation portion of Old Tar. Due to in-house personnel changes, engineering was being performed from out-of-state staff. We had discussion with utility engineering, and we were looking for a local presence. They recommended Michael Taylor, who had just retired from them. Michael Taylor has been involved with the town in numerous other projects with Vernon White and Church Street Substation when he worked with Power Secure. So we're looking recommendations for Michael Taylor to complete the Old Tar project, construction and admin part of it.
Ron, this will be, you probably said it, for the utility relocation piece only.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Ron, one question, that this is an independent contractor, right?
Yes, sir.
And he has all the credentials and
Yes, sir.
liabilities and everything he needs, just in
His
case
insurance.
anything go bad.
Yes, sir, he does. Thank you.
All right, so I'd like to go ahead and make the motion to approve Michael Taylor for the Phase 2 Old Tar Widening contract.
A second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Smith, second by Mayor Pro Tem Moore to, approve Michael Taylor, PE, to finish for the Old Tar Widening project. Any discussion? All right, please vote. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
All right, and then we're down to other agenda items. First up is water fountains, Councilwoman Hawkins.
Yes, I want to begin by saying Booker T. Washington said, "A lie does not become the truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority." I put water fountains on the agenda as an other item because I just wanted to quickly recap a situation regarding an inoperable water fountain at the Hillcrest Park that had been reported to me, and I had just learned that it had been out of order for over a year. Regulations stand that this is mandated, that public parks, in fact, have a working water fountains with adequate water pressure, be regulated, be kept clean, and in good repair. I'm speaking to this because while this was brought to my attention on August 18th, and while two were installed within 7 days, it is again incumbent upon us as a town council to advocate for what's right, balanced, and regulated. From me and from what I process, this was not balanced in terms of regulations, in terms of having inspections, in terms of having receipts requested by a council person, whether anybody deemed me to be a council person or not. I'm officially elected, whether anybody likes it or not. When you ask for these documents and they are not presented or cannot be presented, that is a concern. As a person who represents the people of Winterville, things like this must be transparent. And in order to stay in good with people, I am not going to be quiet about it. I wanted to bring that before the people to say that if they see any other instance, please let me or any other council person know, because we should be advocating for things that are right. We should not be excusing some things and going full force in regulations on others. I would go deeper into it, but out of respect for Ms. White and her grief at this time, I am not going to do that. But again, water fountains and anything else that does not meet regulations and we are not going by what we should as a governing board should be transparent and there should be accountability.
Okay. Next up is youth recognition.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hawkins.
Yes, so I wanted to, first of all, when we look at the news, when we look anywhere in the news today, we see youth up on mugshots, youth doing this, doing that. We had a rash of crimes reported by youth last month. And Pitt County, lots of Pitt County leaders met on this. I have identified some youth here in Winterville that are doing the right thing. and they need to be recognized. One of the youth here, the other youth that I recognize, they are not here. One of their parents was graduating, had a graduation in Florida, so they could not attend. But I wanted to recognize Miss Nyla Worthington. She is a rising ninth grader at South Central High School. She has matriculated through A.G. Cox, both schools in the heart of Winterville, or South Central being on the west side. But I wanted to highlight her because going through middle school is, it's not like when I was in school. There's peer pressure, they have social media, there's lots of uncertainties that Gen Zs face every day. Nyla Worthington is a respectful young woman who needs to be highlighted. And I think that this should be an occurrence that happens. It shouldn't have to happen during a holiday or an event, because mugshots and youth getting in trouble do not happen on a holiday or an event. So I just want to let Nyla know that I recognized you. I met her several months ago, and she is doing wonderful things. Some things about Nyla is that she loves to skate, she loves to paint, she loves to draw. She actually plays flag football at South Central. And she wants to become a professional nail artist. This is something that I, too, am working with Pitt Community College on, bringing trades here to Winterville. This is what's needed for those who look like Nyla, who have aspirations like Nyla. And so, Nyla, I just want to present you with a small gift. In addition to that, there's a poem with the gift. I'm not going to read it because I get emotional in terms of youth, but I want to give you this, Nyla. Nyla, I want you to know you are an outstanding youth. I want you to keep your head up, continue in high school. If you need me or anyone from the council to help with your ascension in school, we are here. And I thank you for being an outstanding youth. Take your poem. If we could get Nyla's family, can y'all come up and take a picture with her? Why is that important? Because it takes a village. If anybody from the council would like to join, they can. Because it takes a village. This young lady will have our support through college. I've already promised her family that, because she is important to me.
Wait.
We got something we're working on. Stay tuned. do you have another one?
I do have two more items. Did the council?
I'm saying the youth, as far as the youth.
Oh,
Do you have
no,
another-
so, no, I had some brothers who were not able to make it because their mother was traveling to Florida for her graduation. However, they will be presented.
Their names, that's what I'm trying to get, where is their names?
I will give those, I will give all of that at another time.
Oh, you don't, okay.
No, I have them, they're not here, but I will recognize them at another time.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I would like to congratulate Nyla. I've known her and her grandmama, her mother, and I do appreciate everything you do to be a positive image in our community. Keep on working.
Yes.
So you finished with the youth part?
I am.
Okay, all right, so then we'll move to the oversight part, Councilwoman Hall.
Did we need to take a break or not?
No,
Okay, all right, let's roll right on through. Okay, so the next part is oversight. What I want to say is that every one of us up here has an opportunity to place things on the agenda. I chose to place them because that's my choice, and I had that opportunity. In terms of oversight, wisdom is not simply about having the right to ask questions, but it is also to get answers. Identifying problems are a process that can help us grow stronger as a community, as opposed to be looking at as barriers or a troublemaker. What I have been is a trailblazer. In terms of oversight, when we talk about the water fountain and things that are needed, we say those are moving towards improvement. We need to have something in place, and we do have a town manager. My question is, Town Manager Parker, I have reached out to yourself and Attorney Lassiter, and I have asked you all about the documentation for the water fountain. There's other things as well, but when one asks for documentation, how does that work? Because I never got an answer or a response. And I ear to you all for oversight. You all are the supervisors in terms of departments and staff. While we oversee that in some terms, when we have a town manager, town attorney that represents us, why is that important? Because having a lack of documentation puts the town at risk. Just in the sense of the water fountain. So that is my item, that is my question.
King, do you have anything to say before I?
The documentation of inspections and things like that, I understand why you ask, and I think that from the emails that I saw, I think the town is in the process of rectifying that. I don't know that that in and of itself is a question of a legal nature, but Terry and I did speak to the matter, and I think she's going to be responding to you on it.
I'd be glad to
Sure.
cover part of that this evening. I think documentation and record keeping is something, just not on the water fountains, but since we're talking about those, I think holistically, we as a staff have been working to improve. It is challenging at best when everyone's going just as fast as they can to try to get work and projects done to make sure that appropriate documentation is in place. Evan Johnston is our building inspector, and those things that require inspections by the building inspector or code enforcement officer, he is that as well. Those things are documented in our system, not holistically and as a majority due to the fact that permits are required and they have to be procured. But code enforcement, there's a process that'll eventually make its way to Keene if it's not rectified, and so that documentation is set in place. We are working on a work order system for our town as a whole that I think we're very close to implementation. I'm looking at Anthony, jump in if I say anything that's incorrect. What that would do is work in conjunction with our app and other things where some departments get work orders now, but not all departments. But things just like the water fountain, once those things are, if it's an outside concern and it's made us aware, then we can put those work orders in place. Having said that, would I say that this town has every process in place as it should? No, ma'am. Things consistently change, and we are working on making all of those things better. The change out of the water fountain itself did not require any inspections by the building inspector. No permit was required. Therefore, there's no quote-unquote inspections process by the building inspector. However, the department that's holistically responsible, which would be Parks and Recreation, but we also have a full-time building maintenance person working in conjunction with each other to come up with checklists and other forms of documentation until we get the work order system, and then it will be in conjunction with the work order system to have that information readily available in the future. That was a brief introduction to the answer, but.
So I appreciate you answering, but when I asked this behind the scene, I got no answer. I got, it appears as if I'm being aggravating, which I don't mind. That's okay. Being aggravating for what is right is making good trouble. And when I'm asking this, it is because inspections should be done at a park of that size. It's a public park. It could be a fence sticking out. It could be somebody could fall on something, not relative to the water fountain per se, which it was just one. It wasn't ADA guideline. It was just, and I just asked simply, what was the tracking records for the effort or the inspection logs? And while I am happy and I feel hopeful because we're moving in the right direction, if I would have gotten an answer a week or so ago, I would not have put it on the agenda in terms of oversight. This poses a liability indeed to the town, not having a water fountain. It is against regulations. I have the statute right here. So it is it is a liability. It is a liability if someone is injured due to undiscoverable hazards. So I would say, while, people are like, well, she keeps talking about it. Yes, I am talking about it because there's accountability that should have been. And I thank you, Town Manager Parker, for explaining that you all are formulating something that if somebody, not just me, asks for inspection records, it could be provided.
Yes, ma'am, I will go so far as to say that inspections are done every day, but I could not provide you the records of those. And that is the whole system that we're trying to put in place at the Parks and Rec Department. I will say that my intention certainly is to answer you, but I don't mind discussing it tonight. You're certainly not an aggravation when you want to know the information, so feel free to ask. Happy to have those discussions. I will certainly state that we have room for improvement, but at the same time, a lot of work gets churned out, and so, yes, it's a matter of backing up and just determining what we need to do better.
And I thank you for that. In terms of inspections, I'm happy to know that they are happening, but if just a simple notebook would note the date of inspection, the what is being inspected for everybody's sake. How are you going to track what needs to be fixed? They're inspecting something, and how do we verify that?
Right.
So, thank you.
Yes, I think the combination, I should say, of checklists that will be dated and signed off on, in addition to our work order system, should address those types of information requests in the future.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, if I could just very briefly, Councilwoman Hawkins, you, I think, made reference to a statute.
Yes.
Mind if I get that? Could you give me that
Yeah,
reference,
you want me to read it?
Yes, well, just to give the statutory, the
Hold on.
number, the reference.
Hold on. This is NC 15A 18A 2406. This regulation mandates that drinking fountains on public places, including parks, must be provided and installed as required by North Carolina Building Code. It further specifies that these fountains must have adequate water pressure, be properly regulated, kept clean, and in good repair.
Thank you. I've actually looked at that one. I was just trying to see if there was something else that you had to. I just trying to see what you might have available.
That is what it says in totality, and that is what was not there. So it was, in fact, a violation of a regulation, and I'm happy that it was repaired, and it is an ADA guideline, but it wasn't for over a year. And for me, that's not okay.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Hawkins is correct, and I will state, just for information, water fountains are not required, but if we do have them, and we do have them at both Winterville Recreation Park and Hillcrest Park, we do not have one, to my knowledge. Evan, you can help me with this, at Water Tower Park. So, but you are right, if we have them, they must, as the bathrooms as well, must remain in good working order and meet all regulations. And so we will strive to make sure we have better documentation of that moving forward.
Thank you. And then in terms of water fountains at the park being optional, if there is not an adequate water source that is near, there needs to be water fountains. It must be an adequate water source.
I'm not, please don't misunderstand. I'm not trying to suggest
Sure.
that we don't have them. I just wanted to make sure that if someone asks why we don't have one at Water Tower Park, it's currently not required, and as that park is redeveloped, one may be installed there as well.
Thank you.
So we're gonna move to number 4, Councilwoman Hawkins.
Yes, sir.
All right, Calvin Henderson.
So many or all of Winterville know Mr. Calvin Henderson. He is 88 years old. He has been a dedicated resident who has worked tirelessly to ensure the slice of a good life is afforded to all. Part of that work included advocating strongly for the establishment of Hillcrest Park, in fact, during the mid-1990s. It was unfortunate that racism played a factor in the access of both parks freely. Based on this fact, Winterville, he was the president of the Winterville Concerned Citizens of Justice. This was formed in lieu of what was taking place. This is now known as Winterville Concerned Citizens and Development Group. In 1999, Hillcrest Park was developed. And I have documentation that goes back past before 1999 on through 2008 and then on through 2020. In 2020, I want to recognize Pastor Darren Carmen as having placed a mural sign along with his organization, the People Against Racism. This was not allowed on the main streets, and during 2020, we know the murder of George Floyd occurred. But having the sign and the mural, as well as painting of People Against Racism, was upheld. in the plight of Black people in the town and across the country. If Calvin Henderson was here this evening, both he and Pastor Carmen would likely be able to look one another eye to eye and agree heart to heart that this park is a valid symbol of the slice of a good life, irregardless to feelings about either one of these men. The fight to ensure fairness, acknowledgement of investment for justice and equality still remains. Tonight, I would like to introduce my efforts as the chairperson of the Human Relations Board to establish some sort of honor on behalf of Mr. Calvin Henderson, as well as the Winterville Human Relations Board and Development, in conjunction with People Against Racism. And this could be in the form of a plaque, something up on the pavilions, a stone, something to recognize this ongoing trend, to recognize the work that it took to get the Hillcrest Park and the different things that have gone on since it have been established. And this is what I am going to propose tonight for a motion for the Winterville Human Relations Board to move forward in planning. And I can't make a decision for them, they're not here, but I did want to introduce this.
So you're gonna take it back to your board first?
Yes, yeah, yes.
All right.
And so I won't make a motion, but I wanted to speak to it, and I would like to tell the council that I am going to take this back to the Human Relations Board.
All right, thank you. All right, next up is policy on council member agenda additions, Mayor Hines. It was kind of brought to my attention by citizens as well. When they look at our agenda, just wanted to know some of the items that's up there and what's with them. So I listed some help on this and came up with this policy and thought, maybe we could add this. It will help everybody out. So when we do bring something to the council, that the staff as well as the council kind of know what's going on. So we'll be better prepared to maybe answer any questions or anything else. And it reads, policy on council members' agenda additions. Any town council member requesting to add an item to the agenda must provide a brief written synopsis of the item in advance. Synopsis should be no more than 2 or 3 sentences and must include the purpose of the request, budgetary impact, and any immediate action sought from the council. This summary will be shared during the agenda review meeting to ensure clarity, efficiency, and proper preparation for discussion. Sorry. I think this right here will help us all out, as a guide. And so I would like for to see us implement this to help us going forward, because I think it will be some type of clarity. And also too, I didn't put in here, if for some reason that it's not clear, that ask the town manager to reach out to whoever submitted the item to get clarity, and if we can't get that clarity, we may pull it and it may come back on the next time. Do that make sense to y'all? If we can't get the person, and we'll just take it off the item and then get with them to make sure we understand what it is and then that way they can bring it back.
Are we having a discussion about it, or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I could speak. So primarily, I'm the only one who's been putting stuff on besides Dr. Harrell. So this is essentially for me. I'm just talking right now. So other than myself and Dr. Harrell, I've been putting agendas. So when it says council member agenda additions, that is fine. But to ask for 2 to 3 sentences, am I explaining what I'm going to be talking about, or how does that look? I have to summarize it, and then if it's not clear, it's going to be pulled. A freedom of speech for a councilwoman who is up here speaking on behalf of the people, that is going to be regulated. Am I hearing? Is this what I'm hearing?
All of us have the opportunity to add things to the agenda.
Right.
Some of us have added things that our names were not by, as far as the agenda is concerned. But I don't think it's quite, I don't feel like it's fair to all of us to single out us, the people who do aid. This is not directed to just them. It's all of us will try to do the same things so that we will be able to understand and act upon these things when they come up on the meeting night. You'll understand what it is and, what's going with it. It's not anything to prohibit. It's nothing to isolate people about, but it's something that we'll all be doing. I've added things to the agenda, but my name wasn't put by, and so I think that maybe some of the rest of us have to.
Councilwoman Robertson, are you speaking of the other agenda items or items within the agenda? I'm speaking, and somebody help me, I'm speaking of these other agenda items where whenever a council person puts an item, their name is beside it. I have in the past seen where items have been, you've requested for items to be placed